You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
You get up one morning, your elders have something, you don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man do get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that eagle eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. We get up one morning, independence happening, getting the thing come easy. Now they're taking liberty, but if they know about petition, we are to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking. You get it there easy. You got to practice economy. From getting licks from the slave master to become the landowner. Brother, it's a terrible journey, packed with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up. Pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You gotta take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wing, O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover, 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 cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover, 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 the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, in the village to the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear a mauve t-shirt, you wear a burgundy t-shirt, you wear a gray t-shirt, you wear a violet t-shirt, you're welcome in the village to the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Doesn't matter what planet you're from. You're from Mazatania, Xenorania, Venerania, Sonorania. Each and every one is welcome in the village to the DAT Triplets, WZYE
9 FM. And let me bring in one third of the DAT Triplets, no other than Thomas E., the commissioner in Newark from Celibia, better known as Sally Bay. Went to school in Palaseco, somewhere close to Moruga. No other than Thomas E. Marshall Nesbitt, boy.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to be in the village here tonight as I look forward to another wonderful night. The storm wouldn't be joining us tonight, but hopefully soon she'll be over with whatever challenges that she faces, and we'll be back to our storm. We surely miss her. We're going to miss her tonight.
Absolutely, Tony. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and let me give you a little warning, eh? Well, it's not a warning. But today's my birthday, so we will finish the show 9 p.m. tonight.
we wouldn't deprive Miss Lee-Born of her husband on his birthday, or you.
Not just my Steve, but my son and my daughter too. You know what I mean?
Right,
You know,
right.
I just had a nice little cake. You know, I tell them, I say, well, listen, all you. They say, you know, we know you're loyal to your program. Go and do your program. I say, but listen, then we do a little something. I'll come up 9 o'clock, and we could sit down and, you know, chat with the son and the daughter. You know, I want. Oh, no, I ain't gonna bring my son. My son look bigger than me. You know, he buff. You know, he's a buff-stress. You know, the man that's going to the gym 5:30 in the morning. You know?
It's amazing how
Yeah, I know where you get that.
I have the same issue with my son. My son, like I said, I have the same situation with my son. He's a big guy, man.
Yeah, man,
Well,
my son, man, all of a sudden, man, the man let's get up and get up 5:30 and go to the gym in the morning, and the man like is 180 pounds of muscle. I say, oh God. I say, wonder where you get that from, boy? Getting up and going to the gym and all kind of thing. You know? They say
yeah.
what they say? Mango trees don't bear apples. Is that what they say? So it's something like that. You
Yeah,
know?
true.
Like I just can't remember what the good thing that I say sometimes. Yeah, so we're gonna only be with you guys. Tommy, you could hold long before,
Well, the fort has to be held one way or another. But
Well,
we could do,
you could hold long before from 9 to 10, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, no problem. We have no problem with that. The fort had to be held some way or the other.
it would be
You know.
nice. It would have been nice if I had a storm to hold the fort with me.
Yeah, but you know what? Let somebody from inside the chat, man. All they want to hold long the storm fort with Tommy from 9 to 10, man. You know what I mean? Remember one time we had Tikisha, we had Lana, somebody could hold long the fort, man.
No
Maybe
doubt.
maybe Albert Montano might decide to do something, you know what I mean? You know, you know where it is go. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so Tommy,
I have to get the capacity to play music from my location.
you need to play no music, man. You can play music on your phone, wherever it is. Wherever come true. Remember you played some things for us previously, right? You remember
Well,
that?
yeah, but it wasn't as clear as it should have been.
No, well,
Yeah,
I know exactly I know what you're saying.
there
But
was something
Tommy,
you were about to say. Yes, say it.
you have your Tom in and Tom out thing tonight, right?
Torment and Tom out. Well, there's just so much going on.
No, we starting it yet, but I just know because I have something, a big thing with respect to wall in, wall out. Because I put up a quote today on my page because today is my 50th birthday, right, Tommy? So uh, Tommy, Tommy, what is that one, man? Tommy, what is that one?
50,
Huh?
50 years, 50 years since you were born in the U.S.
Tommy, what is that? That laugh, but that kind of like a mysterious laugh there. What is that one, man? Eh?
Uh,
Tommy, I thought that would have go over your head, man. Like,
50.
that,
I like that number.
what if
I got
I
number.
went
How many years now
to
you've been
that
stuck on 50? I should say for how many years now you've been stuck on 50?
about 14 years?
Alrighty.
Tommy, they
It's
say,
a,
what do Miss Make our pass me? Is that what they say?
yes. You're in a good
Tommy,
place.
I thought I would have go over your head, Tommy, but it really didn't. Yeah, so Tommy, so I put up a quote today. I had a hard workout yesterday. So I sit today, I go just run. I go give myself a birthday present. And I run 3 miles today. 3 miles in about 23 minutes. Right? And I'm a birthday present to myself. And then I put a quote after my birthday present and I get a call on the quote. And the quote tonight is going to be my wall in or wall out. But we go get to that. But I just was thinking when I put up the quote, I get a call, yes, boy. Somebody wanted to discuss the quote with me. I say, all right. I say, okay, I go use that for my wall in, wall out. Yeah. So, of course, Nadia swim first. Nadia said, good night, everyone.
Yes, good
She
night.
says, Tommy, good night. You
Good
told me
night.
you get blue. What is orange, red, green, and yellow emojis? Yeah?
Right?
Nadia
Okay.
said, Dan, I've been saying good night. I don't know, boy. That kind of emojis, Nadia is good as disappear, boy. You see them kind of box thing? I tell, I know where Nadia get the phone from her, but oh God, look, boy. I told me you see all them colors, boy.
Well, it's your birthday.
Oh, Nadia, thank you so much, Nadia. Oh God, Nadia.
We are
Yeah,
very,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me let me let me
Splendiferous.
let me wish you a very happy and wonderful and splendiferous birthday.
Yeah, but put in the 50th now, man. What happened? You afraid?
Okay, okay. You know you didn't start going backwards. Yes, we can make it 49.
Nah. I'm going up. I'm going up. Next year I'll go be a little higher. Next
All
year I'll
right.
go up to 51.
Happy
You know what I mean?
50th.
Yeah. Full 100. Full 100. Nadia
Yes.
says good night, Rennie, Hailey, Vonnie, Troy, Ellis, Ulrich, Ken, John, Rajvi. Good night. And Tommy, um, no boy, I just remember boy, next week Tuesday we supposed to have two individuals. We supposed to have a fella, former superintendent Johnny Abrahams, and we supposed to have what is his name now? Dr. Shane Mohammed as well. So I might have to change that a little bit because I think we could only have one of them at a time because if we have two of them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we might have to change that. Yeah. But anyway, Rennie said, good night, brothers and sisters. Love anyhow. Great love is all I bring. Yeah, Rennie was in second tonight, but
Hey, and so what I usually do on my Earth Strong is I call my mother and I wish her happy birthday because she had the birthday.
Tommy, that is good, you know. Yeah, that's a actually great idea. But Tommy, boy, to be honest with you, boy, my birthday is I don't celebrate my birthday no more, you know. I celebrate every day now. You know what I mean? Your birthday is very special, but I celebrate every single day. And for years now, I mean, I always go out to the track and either do a 5 mile run or a 4 mile run. Just just something to start off the day right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rennie says, sending out tremendous, super fabulous, delicious, masculinous love to hey, that's what I like about this, you know. You see, look this splendiferous word that Rennie make. Masculinous. Let me see if masculinous is a word. Let me check and see. Because masculinous. 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 Lime. All right. Masculinity. Let me see. Is masculinous a word? Masculinous. Okay. Um, Masculine definitions. Okay. Masculinize. Um, all right. But Rennie, I like that. I like how that is critical thinking, Rennie. You understand? He take masculine and he put it into masculinous. You have tremendous, super fabulous, delicious. Yes. That is critical thinking skills there, anybody. Yeah? For every color, creed, and race. Love for every color, creed, and race. Love will keep us in a comfortable place. Full 100, anybody. Full 100. Yeah, you don't let people divide us. Respect to the panel, Mr. Walls, Lady Diana, Mr. Tommy. Don't let people divide us, whatever we do. Why live bitter? Why live in haste when there's a whole menu of wonderful love left waiting for you to taste? Iman, Tommy, Iman getting to be lyrically inclined now, boy. What is going on, boy?
I think he heard so many of Diana poems that he's inspired
Oh,
into
oh.
poetry.
Diana must be selling some of that drink for him. Huh?
I don't know what to think, but something is going on.
That's storm drink. He's storm drink. Yeah, he's storm drink. Denise, welcome. Yeah. Yeah,
GND.
Ren, thank you very much, man. Happy birthday, Mr. Wars. May you look to see many more, my friend. Yeah. Thank you, Denise. Happy Earth Strong Slim. Yeah, full 100. Thank you. Walls, birthday song for you. Jah Bless Me by Jack here.
All right.
Is that copyright?
Maybe.
Jah
Yeah.
Bless by Jack here. All right, I'll go look for that one. Me and Jean, good evening. Yeah? So Tommy, I think we started a little early tonight, so I know.
Yeah, we can knock off early because we started early. You know,
Oh wait, isn't Saturday a holiday in Trinidad?
it's Eid. Is it Eid?
Yeah, is Eid? I think it's Eid.
Yeah, but some things on my mind. It was a there was a little misunderstanding that took place at the end of the last show. I think we should apologize for it. What do you think?
No, I mean I think that what happened on the last show that I made a mistake, and I want to apologize for my mistake as far as how I handled Diana and the situation with the end of the show. I think I was totally wrong, and I take full responsibility for my action, and I apologize to Diana.
Yeah, I think it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
She was having some equipment troubles and it wasn't understood clearly. So I appreciate you taking it, making the effort to take responsibility and apologize for the error because we are all human beings and we can make mistakes. And I just hope the apology is accepted fully by everyone in the show and most of all by the storm herself because we can do a better job together than apart.
No, when I am wrong, I take full responsibility for my action. I don't run away from and hide from it. And it makes us all it makes us all better people when we could accept our shortcomings and apologize. Because as I say to people, the sun is gonna come up tomorrow.
No doubt.
So, Rennie, why you want to know my business? What do madam cook for you? She cook,
Food. Food.
she cook food, Rennie. Yeah, yeah, we cook food. Yeah, we cook food. So Tommy, you know that there's a new party in Tobago, right?
Yeah, the TPP.
Tobago's People's Party. And I think that it's going to be a seismic shift with respect to politics in Tobago. And here's why. I think what has happened is that the PDP have been significantly weakened by this move by Fali and the others. You see, because for the many things that have happened recently, there's something called recency bias. For the many things that have happened recently with respect to Watson Duke, and some of his behaviors, when you look at him wanting to be mayor of Port of Spain, and he's telling people he's going to be mayor of Port of Spain before there is even an election and before there's candidates for the 12 councils that they need in order to win an election and for him to become the mayor of Port of Spain. Right? And the way how they went about it in Tobago, in that they went about it totally different as far as selecting a name. The people had input in selecting the name. When they're going to go and register it with the EBC, it's not the political leader going and register it. It's somebody else going and register it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that is a great thing for Tobago's People's Party. So somebody asked me a question. Can you put Tobago in the name of a party? I I I don't see why though. Tell me, what do you think?
I don't think it's an issue. The only thing is that like I I was listening to some of Karen's comments and I thought about it. She was saying it what happens is that it limits the scope of the party when you just say Tobago.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I thought that was logical
That makes sense.
because if you have such a good thing going on in Tobago, you probably want if let's say it becomes a model for the nation, you want to spread it throughout the nation, but the name Tobago makes it isolates Trinidad.
Well, well, but Tommy, can it be that um
Shouldn't I would tend to think the word Trinbago would have given it a lot more leverage.
hmm.
So once
Yeah, Tommy, that's a very good. That's something there too. That's important, I think that's very important. In that, you know, if you're gonna name a party and you put Tobago, what you have done is limited yourself to just Tobago only. Uh,
absolutely.
Denise, where is Diana tonight? Diana is not joining us tonight. Yeah. Um.
Denise,
I,
Diana has some equipment issues that hopefully she gets sorted out soon, and we should see her soon as she gets sorted out.
so I think that's a great point, Tommy. I didn't think about that, no? That you have limited yourself to just Tobago. Huh? You know, you have limited yourself to just Tobago, and that is, I never thought about that, man. That's serious.
I guess the word is device issues, Denise. I said equipment. That sounds yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a limitation on just Tobago. When Tobago, it's Tobago and Trinidad or Trinidad Tobago.
Mhm.
So if what he is presenting could be a model for the nation, and it could be spread, and it could spread, and it could take root and grow and mushroom, then Trinbago would give him more leverage as a first name for a party, which makes it inclusive. Right now, it just sounds like it's exclusively Tobago.
Well, then again, for me, maybe that's the goal. They want to deal with Tobago only. You know, I believe that. I think maybe Tommy they decided that they're gonna just focus on Tobago and the two seats in Tobago
Hmm.
because they cannot go to Trinidad without Tobago People's Party. You don't think they thought about that, Tommy? I think they think about that.
Well, what I know is that the focus is on Tobago solely, but it, the name just making it focus on Tobago, it brings a bit of divisiveness because whatever it is, we are one nation, and if you're doing a party or you're making a party, you want it to have enough teeth, or should I say enough flexibility that if and when it grows and it does a great job, it can mushroom into governance for the entire nation, which is Trinbago. That's just my thought. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking it out too loud or too much.
No, I think that's a valid point. I didn't think about that. You know what? I thought that, you know, they wanted to concentrate more just on Tobago, and that's how the Tobago got in there. And somebody asked the question, can you use Tobago in a political party? I mean, I don't know what the laws are in Tobago, in Trinidad, that, you know, if you could use Trinidad or Tobago in a political party.
I have no problem with using the name Caribbean or anything. I just feel that, especially in these times, we need a focus on more unity than division, and
Mm,
to make it just a Tobago Center or Tobago focus issue or party, it it sounds divisive when we talk about the nation and nation building. That's just my thought. I guess that's how I am.
Um, I, I don't know though, Tommy, if a decision was made to concentrate just on politics in Tobago, as opposed to concentrating on politics in Trinidad and Tobago, that could be considered to be divisive, because there are different types of people living in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I just think that what they decided is that they want to concentrate on Tobago. I mean, I'm guessing, you know, they want to concentrate on Tobago, and they you know what? Maybe we could call Pastor Baines and ask him.
Yeah, we can call Pastor Baines and
Yeah,
just
let's call Pastor Baines and ask.
what's his thought, and at
Yeah,
least I'll express my thoughts
yeah,
uh, towards what I
yeah,
see as a something that's more viable or that will work or over well for the future.
yeah. So, folks, I'm calling Pastor Baines. Okay, so we didn't get him. We will
Yeah.
try him a little later to find out about what's the deal. Um,
What are people in the chat saying? Let's see.
okay. Now, Rajvi asked a question here. I want to know what's this here. Hold on, eh? Oh, let's see how Moon breaky leg yesterday. I didn't see that. You saw that?
No,
Okay. He says,
okay.
Raj, you see that? Was video smoking? I was some. Eh, oh God, that's not just one branch. I don't know. Raj, exactly what you guys talking about? Denise says it make complete sense.
Denise also says uh, promotes inclusively by using Trinbago or other more inclusive term. Uh,
Mm, mm. Rajvi say, Wall, I just take a scotch and coconut water toast to you. all in all, you all have done a great job with this program. You actually created a family outside of families close. Thank you very much, Rennie. We really appreciate that. Raj, we say long weekend again.
But the Saturday is a holiday, not Friday, not tomorrow. So or Monday. So I don't see how it's something I'm missing something, Raj. Except if something else is going on and I'm unaware.
I highly welcome. Yes, so I mean, it says it promotes inclusivity by I'm just rereading Denise comment. Promotes inclusivity by using Trinbago or more inclusive term.
Right.
But if Tobago is an island, right? It is Trinidad and Tobago. But if I say Tobago, don't we have things with just Trinidad in it? Do we have anything
Yes.
with Trinidad in it? Eh? Is there anything you could think of at the top of that just has Trinidad in it without Tobago?
Usually we have TT as the name.
Mm-hmm. So is there any institution with just Trinidad name only?
There may be, but something of that magnitude should be, especially in these times, promoting inclusiveness.
You saying that, you and Denise are saying that. Um, you are saying that it should be something that referring to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes. I mean, if Tobago focuses on being alone, then, or should I say separation, then making it just a Tobago centered or focus approach is okay. But I don't think these are times for trying to be alone or trying to promote division. Yes, they want autonomy, but that doesn't mean independence, or should I say separation. I
Yeah, I can't come up with anything that doesn't have Tobago in it. Yeah. Thank you, Daryl. Hello and good night. Good day. Happy birthday. Thank you, Daryl. Tobago is seen a sense of independence and should be able to happen there. Will take the opportunity. You know what? But Tommy, that is a good point, though. This could be a thought processors, whereas they believe that they want to get their own independence, and this is the start of them becoming independent from Trinidad.
well,
Let me try him again. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I hear, but the times are wrong for that. I think the entire Caribbean need to band together even much more than some of the issues that and are only solvable together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who wants to believe it or not, but that's what I see. I see togetherness bringing resolution to some of the issues that we are facing, as opposed to trying to go it alone. That's why I welcome the symposium on the crime by CARICOM. Um, just just the thought of it is enlightening. Even if they just knock glasses and say we're going to do this together, and didn't really come up with anything viable. Just the thought that they've made that step in that direction is very encouraging. So I hear all the noise and utterances that are being sounded all over Trinidad and maybe Tobago. I'm not sure if Tobago is, but all over Trinidad by all who are seeking power. But to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's just noise because we need we need the CARICOM nations to start thinking collectively when it comes to resolving some of the issues that are being faced, one way or another.
Well, here's Rennie. Rennie said Tobago people are down to earth, headstrong people, headstrong, straightforward people. They won't tolerate the corrupted minds of Trini people. You know, I think. I mean, I have to be honest. You told me I don't have a problem with Tobago's People's Party because I don't see how that is. If Tobago is trying to become self-sufficient and self-governed, right? They could have. So let me take this call.
I take the call. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry
I
about
don't.
that.
I don't have a problem with Tobago people or anything that they think. I'm just trying to add to their thoughts and add to their thinking by saying that if they have a good thing, we would want to share in it in Trinidad. If they, let's say they came up with a solution to some of the issues that we are facing in Trinidad, it would be easier instead of trying to reinvent it in Trinidad to just copy what they're doing. And not just that, but if they have a good political solution that they have come up with Fali and the rest of the other youngsters that he's dealing with.
Now, Denise, you're onto something here. Now, think about this. And Denise, what you have just, I think your statement, Denise, not this statement we have here, but the other one confirms what I said. Denise says maybe because it fell on Saturday, they get Friday off, right? But here is the one, Tommy. THA, Tobago House of Assembly.
Yes.
If they have the Tobago House of Assembly, then what is wrong with Tobago's People's Party?
All right. There's nothing wrong with it, like I said. I'm just saying that I would like if they have a solution, a governance solution, for it to be an option for Trinidad also.
Yeah, but you see, I mean, I think this is really a tremendous point. If you have the Tobago House of Assembly, there shouldn't be any problem with a party putting Tobago in it.
No, there's no problem with calling it Party Tobago. All I'm saying is that I see something that should have a little bit more teeth, or should have be a little bit more flexible when it comes to being able to give it um, strength in Trinidad, the same unit strength in Trinidad, or an extension of it in Trinidad.
Well, what would you have more comfortable with? A party name without Tobago in it?
No. I'm saying even if they call it Trinbago, which means
No, but Tommy, I hear you, Tommy, but they want to be separate from Trinidad.
no,
Not to
it's
separate, not this is not a racial divide, you know.
what I
This is
saw. What I saw it as power to the people. You know, I say that they're saying basically power to the people. So
correct.
let's get power to all the people.
Correct. That's what it is. That's what I see.
That's what because based on how they went about setting up and so on and so forth, and saying that it's people centered and all inclusive when it comes to finding a name and a logo and a color and this and that and the other thing. I just said this power to the people. People need power everywhere, in both countries. And if they're giving that power to the Tobago people, they can give that power to the Trinidad people too.
So let's listen. Let's listen to this Liz Williams video with regards to the Tobagos.
Ballot sheet was certified by the female counters, and I can tell you that the overwhelming vote for the name of the new party and the name of this new political organization is Tobago People's Party. The people of Tobago have said that they no longer want to belong to any party owned by any man who tell them when to leave and when to come. They want their own party. Tobago People's as we close with our theme song, will your anchor hold?
Man say nobody ain't go own the party like our man own it.
Right.
You
Now,
know,
in Jamaica, they have the JLP, which is the Jamaica Labour Party, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, they're not two islands, they're one island, and they
Yeah.
still use the word JLP. Okay, we are a twin island, and you're forming a new party. If you want to give it leverage, like I said, and you want to give it teeth, and you intend to do a model of governance that could become the envy of the entire nation, then give it teeth. That's all.
Yeah, I think that
I think outside the box. That's me.
no, I hear you. And the point that Denise raised is that there's the Tobago House of Assembly.
I agree. There's a
So
Tobago
if the Tobago House of Assembly, they should name it. They should not name it the Tobago House of Assembly. They should not name it some other thing.
No. It's okay for it to be the Tobago House of Assembly because of the way Tobago is run. But all I'm simply saying is that when it comes to general election, the party should have the option to participate in that exercise.
But what about if they're not interested in the general election? They're interested they're interested in the general election from a Tobago perspective.
What happens is that,
You know, Tommy, I don't want to cut you off, but you know, let me ask a point. You know, can they then run for the 2 seats in Tobago?
they can run for the 2 seats, I'm sure. But what I'm thinking is that the central government, if they're not running for the entire nation, then they'll be always at the mercy of the central government if they cannot become the central government.
So, Tommy, what I hear you saying is that even though they're not a national party, during the general election, they can just run for the 2 seats in Tobago?
They could probably do that because, I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing such.
You know what? Let me see somebody go pick up the phone. Let me call whole choice Charles and see if he go pick up the phone. Hold on, eh?
The only thing is that they would be at the mercy of the central government unless they
Tommy,
apart.
hold 1 minute. So, folks, we calling Mr. Hocho Charles. We're gonna ask a question. Who else could we call, Tommy?
Hello. Yeah,
Mr.
hello.
Charles, this is
Yes.
WZYE 95.9 FM.
Yes, I recognize that I'm listening to the news. Go ahead.
We have a quick question for you with respect to the
Don't talk
general.
to me now. Let the news in. I'm listening to the news. So when you finish, you go call me about half past.
Okay, no problem. All right.
All right.
Okay, but yeah. So, folks, we'll call back Mr. Charles.
Yeah, because what we really want to know is whether or not the TPP is going to fight for the 2 Tobago seats in the general election. And like we said,
Yeah,
if the governance in Tobago or the politics in Tobago becomes the envy of the nation, then we would want the TPP to spread its wings over the entire nation, both Trinidad and Tobago. But with a name like Tobago People's Party, it creates.
But Tommy, here is my question though. If that is not part of their objective to spread their wings in Trinidad, it is just to concentrate only on Tobago. I mean, this is all about Tobago. This is not about Trinidad. This is about fighting for these 60,000 citizens of Trinidad, of Tobago.
Oh,
60,000.
I agree. I agree that it's about Tobago, but I'm saying that if what is done in Tobago becomes the envy of the entire nation, then it will behoove them to spread their wings and fight the general election for the entire country.
Who is to say, Tommy, that they can't change it to Trinidad and Tobago's People's Party?
I guess.
I'm just
TTPP.
talking about
Yeah.
TTP.
Yeah. TTPP.
Yeah. So Denise says it's about moving away from the past and towards Gen Z and Gen Alpha population.
Because these are younger politicians we're looking at in this TPP,
They think differently, man.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna do things a little different that could become the envy of the entire nation.
And Denise says we have examples. We have an example for separation with St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla, St. Bart and St. Eustatius. Okay. Judy says, good evening, Ansem, Diana, Tommy. Happy evening to all. Tobago want to be by themselves long time. They were just waiting on the right time for separation. Yeah, I think they want to be on their own. I think this was a specific task that
I think here's what I think. I think trying to be on their own right now is not a wise move. Yeah, autonomy is a good move, where they run Tobago affairs exclusively.
But Tommy, I think they're giving us enough, in order for us to understand why they should not concentrate on just Tobago, and they should concentrate on Trinidad and Tobago.
No, I'm saying that they need to focus on Tobago and get Tobago right. But what I'm saying is that their focus and their results may be the envy of the entire nation once they get it working right.
Oh, I agree with that. But wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something fantabulous to happen?
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying that if they put flexibility or if they put some flexibility in their approach, in their naming approach, it would make a smoother transition to spreading their model to us here in Trinidad.
So Trinidad Margo says, I think I heard in one of their meetings, they said that the party will only be a Tobago party and not contest for seats in Trinidad as a party. But my question is that the general election includes the 2 seats in Tobago, Tobago East and Tobago West, right?
Yes, right. Would they?
Can you just be a party concentrated in Tobago and run for those 2 seats in the general election?
So it's whether or not they just decided to deal with the THA affairs and not be interested in the general election.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about. Or they just gonna do the THA and the 2 East and West seats and use that as bargaining chips.
Yeah, but Tommy,
then that limits their scope.
But Tommy, I don't know. I think maybe I'm missing something. All right, you know what? Let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-Anne, Maraval and Saint Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite young turned court to UNC. And when Del Motley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Macklin, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
We are back with you. Individuals with the DAT Triplets from WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. So yeah, Tommy, I think I hear what you are saying, but I think the big point is that I don't see anything wrong with an island decide to concentrate on just the people of the island for improvement of those people that live on the island, whether it's 60,000, whatever it is, that lives on the island. I think that's very focused. And we're not worrying about what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. And as a matter of fact, we're trying for what's going on there not to come over here by us. Because it don't seem like if many good things, there are good things happening, but there is many bad things happening as well.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah.
then he says, unless there was legislation since the THA that prevents such naming convention. Then he says they want independence. There are many examples in the Caribbean where such action was successful for various rationales. Judy says that greeting to all village family, universal blessings. Let's celebrate with Ansem. Denise says, I think that will further divide the country and the people if separated. I don't think so. I don't think the people in Tobago is different from Trinidad anyway.
Well, look, we have the United States, and from state to state, the people are different.
Yeah,
But it's
people are different.
a United States, and it works. The unity works. The model works, and it's worked for a while now, and it's been very strong. As a matter of fact, people are still doing some outrageous things trying to get to the United States because they still value life and living in the United States. What
But
say
to me,
you?
in spite of the party, it's still Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I don't think by a party calling themselves the Tobago's People's Party changes much in Trinidad and Tobago.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. All I was simply saying, and I'll say it again, is that if the model is commendable and a working model or progressive, we would want to implement it in Trinidad also. And you should always begin with the end in mind, regardless of what you're doing. And beginning with the end in mind would mean shaping it to give it teeth in Trinidad also. You know, just my thought. I just think differently. But if you want to keep it isolated, so be it.
So for me, I wanted to I hear you full 100, and I hear you full 100, and I think that this is something that they have actually thought out, and it they believe that Tobago needs to be self-governed. They need to be governed by Tobagonians, and I mean I don't have a problem with that. And this might be the start in them thinking that way.
Well, Trinidad is being governed by a Tobagonian.
Correct is right.
So what is the
Yeah, but
argument?
it's actually Trinidad and Tobago.
Uh, that's the point I'm making, is that um, we have to think more collectively than separate. I maybe I'm, like I said, maybe I'm thinking too much into this.
All right, so I guess we have to see where it goes. I think with a transformation leader by Pali. I think it's a good thing for the people of Tobago, and have their own party, a party they could call their own, and they're gonna fight for.
Because, like I said, if you're gonna give power to the people, give power to all the people, not just Tobago people. Give power. You have the option to give power to Trinidad people too. Um, if it's a new model, we want to, and it's working and it's workable. In Trinidad, we want to be part of it too.
Right. Well, Tobago is a little different. Tony. Tobago saying, listen, we see what happened in Trinidad. We don't want that to happen in Tobago. Right? Judy says, I'm very happy for Tobagonians to be on their very own. They have more unity because they are mostly one kind. Let them be. Mean Jean says, Wall Street, it is a Tobago party to run Tobago affairs. The two PNM constituency, East and West, is separate.
Okay, so they'll let PNM continue to run East and West, and they'll just focus on the THA. If their focus is simply the THA and always will be the THA, then let it be. So be it.
So, Tommy, what that does, Tommy, think about this, right? What that does is that, let's say Mean Gene is correct. What that does is eliminate Tobago's People's Partner, People's Party, from running from those two seats. Does it?
Well, I don't know. I guess they still have the option to run for those two seats and use them as bargaining chips with the central government.
Okay, but Tommy, are they registering as a national party or as a Tobago party?
Well, all of this we need to know from when we talk to Hotel Charles, we'll find out.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. Let me try back. Oh, Tommy, before we do that.
Half hour. On the half hour.
Yeah, before we do that, Tommy, I wanna do Tom in and Tom out and wall in and wall out.
Okay.
Right? So here is are you wall in or are you wall out? Right? And this is a quote I put up on my Facebook page today. It says, you are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. Are you wall in or are you wall out?
I wall in on that.
You wall in. Well, I write it, so I had to be wall in, right? So I agree with you. So folks, here is the question, right? It's not a question, but it's a quote. It says, you are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you'll always be disappointed. I want to know, are you wall in or are you wall out on that statement? And I know our partner of mine's going to say he wall out, eh? So Tommy, go ahead. What you have for Tom in and Tom out?
Hold on, just bear with me a second here. Let me bring it up.
Yeah. So folks, again, are you wall in or are you wall out? And you are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you'll always be disappointed. Of course, right? I kind of put up the quote, so I'm all in on it. Because I think that's and so folks, Mean Gene wall out. Mean Gene wall out on it. Mean Gene, why you wall out, Mean Gene? Why are you walling out? I want to know why you wall out. So folks, are you walling or are you wall out? Right? Let me read it for you guys again. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. Mean Gene says he's wall out. Mean Gene, I want you to call in, Mean Gene. Call 973-868, and I want you to explain to the people why you wall out. I'm gonna put the number on the screen. I want you to call in, Mean Gene. Call in, Mean Gene. I want to know why you wall out.
You want to finish your wall in, wall out before I do my Tom in, Tom out?
No, you go ahead.
If it's a broken part, replace it. If it's a broken arm, then brace it. If it's a broken heart, then face it. Are you torn in or torn out on that?
Say it again.
If it's a broken part, replace it. If it's a broken arm, brace it. If it's a broken heart, then face it.
But can you torment on one and then torment on another two? Do you have to torment on both of them, all three of them?
Well, I would tend to think it's either you agree or you disagree with the entire piece.
Well, I don't think I think I'll torment on the second one with respect to, is it a broken arm?
Then brace it.
No. Why don't you go and get it? Why don't you go and get it? Why don't you do an operation to fix it? If it's a broken arm. So I torment on that. I torment on number one and number three, but I torment on number two. Because I believe that if it's a broken arm, you need to go and, do surgery and fix it, rather than put a brace.
What you would do immediately?
No, I the same thing. I'll go get surgery because it's broken. Like if you break your leg or something, you know what I mean?
You see, but if you brace it, you give it a chance to heal back on its own. You brace it properly.
Okay. Yeah, but I all right. That I torment on 1 and 3, and I torment on that one. Trinidad Margot says because they fix broken arms by bracing it. So Trinidad Margot, you torment on all of them. So Tommy Tomlin, I put a little scanner, a spoke in the wheel. I torment on 1 and torment on 3. I torm in on 1 and torm in on number 3. And I torm out on the broken arm by bracing it. You understand? Because at the end of the day, don't you need to fix it?
Yeah, but fixing it is bracing it. That's the immediate fix for it.
But isn't the ultimate fix surgery?
Not necessarily.
With a broken arm?
Yes. You can brace it, set it and brace it in place, and allow it to
You mean
heal.
with the hard white thing?
It's plaster of Paris you're talking about.
Yeah, plaster of Paris.
Yes, you can use plaster of Paris to brace it, or use, if you don't have plaster of Paris, use 2 wooden splints and bandage.
Okay. All right. So I learned something. That's what good about that. I just learned something. So folks, hold on, let's take a call. Hello, caller. You're on WZYE 95.9 FM.
Wall Street, Mean Gene.
Mean Gene, how are you?
I'm doing fine. You and I had this discussion today.
Okay.
And you want me to go over everything that I explained?
No, I don't want you to go over everything. I just want you to tell the people while you wall out on this statement.
Okay. I think that statement is rated, and I'll tell you why. There is internal happiness and there's external happiness. You got to make yourself happy, but something or someone else can also make you happy. For example, as I said earlier on today when we spoke, if your daughter goes out and she acquires a master's degree, that makes you happy. That's external happiness. It made you happy. If your daughter just got a baby, that will make you happy. You now become a grandfather. That brings you happiness. So if you want to stick by that statement, I think it's overrated.
Okay. But at the end of the day, Mean Gene, you have to make yourself happy that your daughter got the degree.
Of course.
You could make yourself you could make yourself unhappy because it may have inconvenienced you. You had something else to do, and it was an
No,
inconvenience to you, but you do it because of your daughter.
no, we're not talking on happiness. We're talking happiness. We're talking about what makes one happy. And happiness could be, as I said, and I'm going to repeat, there is internal happiness where you make yourself happy. There's external happiness where something or someone brings you happiness. Tommy, what you
Yes,
think about
yes, there's internal and external happiness, but ultimately you are responsible for your
Tommy? You
happiness.
there?
Yeah, he hearing you. You're not hearing him?
You're not
No,
hearing
no.
me?
Okay.
Okay. Well, tell him what I said, Anselm.
He
Tell him
says, yeah, Tommy says there is internal and external happiness, but at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness.
Of course, I'm not disputing that. That is not my argument. My argument is the end of the post that you put up, that if you depend on someone to make you happy, you'll be disappointed. I won't be disappointed if my son gets married. I won't be disappointed if he gets a degree. So that is what I'm disputing, the end of that statement, which I think and I've always believed is overrated.
All right. All right. Eugene, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
All right, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
We talk
All
tomorrow.
right. Yeah.
thank you, Mean Jane.
Yeah. So, folks, that's what he thinks. I still think otherwise. Right? And Tommy, he says, you're responsible. And my thing is that at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness. Right? Because we have to be honest. Sometimes we look to others for our happiness and we do get disappointed. Right? So Capiza says, go Monctop Hospital. Trinidad Margot says, no, bracing it will fix in most cases. All right. All right. So then I guess, Tommy, I learned something then.
We all learn every day.
From your Tom in and Tom out, I learned something because I felt if it's broken, you have to go and do some type of surgery to fix it. And Eugene says that basically you are not responsible for your own happiness. Other people can make you happy. Right? I think that's what he's saying, right? And I'm saying that at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness. Because somebody else's happiness may make you sad. And you could make yourself sad. You know, Tommy, as we say that, it's like another questions we had here in the village at one time. And let's just play that game, Tommy. I just go throw something out there. Everyone has a price. Are you Tom in on that or Tom out?
You know, it's been said that everyone has a price.
Correct.
And when you really think about it, it is true. Whether it's monetary or otherwise, the price doesn't have to always be something like cash or currency or something of sort. But I really do believe everyone has a price.
And Tommy, you Tom in on that, I wall in on that as well. Everyone has a price. Every single person on the face of this earth has a price. Absolutely. And people, just as you said, Tommy, people think that when you say everybody have a price, they think it's money. I cannot be bought.
And
Okay.
they think what you're saying that they're corruptible.
Mm. Yeah.
That's what I think you're saying, that they're corruptible.
Mm.
Maybe yes, maybe not. Whether it's corruptible or just that's what it takes to get you to move or to do whatever needs to be done. But everyone has a price. You just have to find out what it is.
Yes, yes. So Tommy, me and Jean say Wall Street's up shifting the goalpost. How I shifting the goalpost? Tommy, how you think I shifting the goalpost?
I wish he would explain so that we know exactly what he's.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't understand how you say I shifting the goalpost. Because it's from and that statement today, it had a it had it had quite a bit of comments. People were commenting on my birthday more than anything else. You know?
Yep. And your mama's birthday on your earth strong.
Yep. Yeah, so that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I wanted to let me see something else here. I have something else here. And which one is this one here? I have one of these here I want to play. The shocking reality about Caribbean crime. Okay, this is it here. I want you all to listen to this. Because I think some people, some people just turn off some people because they doesn't want to listen to them.
Yeah, tune them out.
Yeah, just tune them out, because they don't listen. It's like when you look at Philip Alexander does do some real good thing, real good things in Trinidad. He has some good ideas, and he'll be doing some serious things in Trinidad. It's really about country, right? But sometimes based on the messenger, people just tune out. Based on the message, people just tune out the messenger. People just tune out the message because of the messenger. So take a listen to this. This is a shocking truth about crime in the Caribbean.
This is a war that we cannot afford to lose. In this engagement, governments are open to uncomplimentary charges of, some say, indifference, others say impotence, unimaginative planning, discrimination, abdication of duties, poor leadership, and with the repeated calls for resignations. We know that, but let us try and extract some light from the expressions of the next 2 days, in the fervent hope and expectation that the beast of violence, which has stalked us for virtually all our existence in this blue Caribbean Sea, will be starved of its sustenance, condemned to wither and die, so that we all may live in peace, safety, and harmony, from the home to the streets, from the schools to the borders. Our presence here is admission that crime and violence are now a major part of the Caribbean's overall plethora of problems, ranging from petty theft to school violence, home invasion, domestic violence, sexual abuse, human trafficking, drive-by shootings, drug gang warfare, mindless daily revenge murders, and the list continues. When such a situation arrives at the door, it is said that there was a failure of the society to spot the oncoming crisis. Then there may be a later failure to perceive the extent of that arrived situation as a societal problem. Further, there may be problems of finding solutions, and whether the solutions selected may even succeed. Today, if there's one aspect that we all may be guilty of, is that the problem of criminality and violence was not dealt with sufficiently in a much earlier time frame. In the homes, in the schools, in the prisons, in the courts, and I dare say, in the parliaments. There was what can be described as, quote, a creeping normalcy, unquote. We allowed slow, moderate, deviant behavioral trends to increase. We allowed slips in our age-old standards in ethical and moral norms in our family homes, in our schools, in public institutions, on our roads, and in public places. All of which, hindsight reminds us that we should have checked very early. Instead, we seem to have been saying that these times are different. This is the age of American gun culture. As we adopt the internet revolution with its tremendous promises and all its warts, an age of selfish individualism has been allowed to flourish at the expense of the society itself. So morals and values are now considered flexible. Their lines are blurred, and they occupy spheres of their own, determined and shaped by one's personal whims, the present, fashionable social trends, and worse, the political and bureaucratic shortcomings of something malleable called the system.
What says you, Tom?
You know, I've heard many of the so-called leaders who are looking for it, especially in Trinidad. I don't know about the other countries, describing this as a waste of time and a talk shop and something that wasted money on the Hyatt and the other businesses that profited from this exercise. And I'm seriously wondering if these people want anything to be done about the runaway, or should I say, the unchecked crime situation that is permeating the land space.
No. Answer is clear. No.
Because I keep hearing Gigi's utterances, and I'm saying, why the focus on the negativity? Yeah, there's a 15-point document that was published, or should I say, there's a 15-point document that was published that can be explored to show some good sense was being displayed by the leaders as to how and ways to check a situation that's in a bad way at this particular time. And all you keep hearing is talk shop, waste of time, waste of money, assault on ban on assault weapons. Who's supposed to know better? Don't know better. Why they saying this? There's already a ban on assault weapons. I don't know. Something seems to go over my head. I don't know what you think. What say you?
You know, Tommy, I want to agree with you that currently in Trinidad and Tobago, for political expediency, there are many who want the murder rates to reach 2,000 in Trinidad and Tobago. And they will have no problem with that. None whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, what that will do is make the current government look as bad as possible. Because if you put plans in place, plans and policies and different things in place in order to stem the tide of crime, then the government is improving crime or the murder rate in Trinidad and Tobago. We don't want that. There are many in Trinidad and Tobago who don't want that.
And we realized that the so-called talk shop, upstaged some branches of the security apparatus, or should I say justice system, that finally decided to speak up. We finally got Roger Gaspard speaking up.
Yeah.
When he would have been silent for so long.
Yeah. You see, Tommy, my belief is that, you see, when you leave these things to go untouched for so long, What is it about a sore? If you leave a sore,
The fester.
it has fester, right? We have had so many sores in Trinidad and Tobago. We left alone and it festered. Doesn't matter what government in power. We have had these sores and we just do this. Don't worry about it now, man.
Because
No,
I'm sure if any particular government come in and they do something and it's working, it's going to be impossible for another government to come and undo it.
no, no, Tommy. I think many things that the Prime Minister said there, it makes sense. But, Tommy, I want to read something for you with regards to mental health. So the question is crime a mental health issue? Crime is a complex issue that can have many different causes and contributing factors. While mental health can certainly play a role in some instances of crime, it is not accurate to say that crime is solely a mental health issue. So this is what's important. I don't want to hear you making the excuse that one of the big reasons for crime is due to our mental health issues. There are many reasons why people may commit crimes, including poverty, social, social inequality, substance abuse, peer pressure, and other environmental and social factors. In some cases, individuals with mental health conditions may be more vulnerable to engaging in criminal behavior due to factors such as impaired judgment, impulsivity, and or delusions. It is important to note that the vast majority of people with mental health conditions are not violent or criminal. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It is important to note that the vast majority of people with mental health conditions are not violent or criminal. In fact, studies have shown that people with mental illness are more likely to be victims of violent crimes than perpetrators. So we have to stop. We have to stop it. Trying to make crime to be a mental health issue. So it is important to address crime from a comprehensive perspective that take into account a range of factors, including social, yes, economic, and environmental factors, as well as mental health and other individual factors. This approach can help to address the root cause of crime and reduce the incidence of criminal behavior in society. You hear that, Tommy?
Yep.
Social, economic, and environmental. You see, when you're trying to tell people about recreation departments in the 41 constituencies, anybody listening?
Nope.
When you're trying to tell them about the Laventil to Wall Street Empowerment Center in the heart of Port of Spain, anybody listening?
Nope. They
Right?
don't want to hear it.
When you're trying to tell them an abandoned building is a mental health issue, right? An abandoned building is a mental health issue. They don't want to hear that.
Nope. That don't make sense to them.
No, it don't make sense to them. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. What they want to hear, boy, he trying to get a building for himself. Yeah, he trying to get a building. That's what he want, right? You want a building with his name on it. Like if my name is Wall Street. Like if the Wall Street Empowerment Center go on the building, all of a sudden, that building there is handsomely born. Yeah. Look, look. Something just ain't right. Something ain't right.
I'm kind of looking for an article that was sent to me that was written by Robin Montano, I think, where he focuses on saying that the main focus on resolving crime is education.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of looking for it, but I can't seem to.
What's the name of it? By Robin Montano?
Yeah, it was in one of our chats.
Let me see if I get it. You see, David Abdullah is saying crime is a public policy crisis. Right? While you look for that, David Abdullah is saying, Movement for Social Justice political leader David Abdullah declares that crime in Trinidad and Tobago is a public policy crisis. He said this crisis has been nurtured by successful government and elite members of society since TT gained independence in 1962. Abdullah blamed all of these individuals for contributing to the level of rampant crime in TT today. During a virtual news conference on Sunday, Abdullah said, the problem of crime and violence in our society is because for many, many years, we have been sowing the wind and we are now reaping the whirlwind. Referring to the two-day CARICOM special symposium, which opens in Port of Spain on Monday, Abdullah said, crime is not a public health crisis, but is a crisis of public policy. He's absolutely correct.
That's right.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. He couldn't be more correct. He added that the crisis have affected TNT and many other CARICOM countries for decades. Abdullah recalled that many of the problems contributing to crime and violence in the regions were identified in the West Indian Commission Time for Action report in 1991. I'm going to get a copy of that report. He lamented that 30 years later, none of TT governments, listen to this. Listen to this. He lamented that 30 years later, none of TT governments have acted on any of the matters raised on that report. Chief among them, Abdullah continued, are failed education system in the regions. You hear that, Tommy?
Yep.
Chief among
Miseducation.
them, Abdullah continues, a failed education system in the regions. He said in TT, the education system has been failing approximately 40 to 50% of the students for decades. Abdullah lamented that these are the students among the young people who are denied opportunities to find decent jobs or own their own homes, leading them towards a life of crime. He said that failed economic policy by all governments in TT has denied a generation of people the opportunity to improve themselves. Abdullah also said many people forget that many countries in the region, including TT, was founded on a culture of violence in colonial times. This culture was fostered by factors such as slavery, indentureship, and racism. Even when Caribbean countries gained independence, Abdullah said, the culture of violence have never left our society. He claimed the PNM and UNC never did anything to eliminate this culture because it helped them politically. Abdullah slammed members of the business community and other elite groups in TT for remaining silent for years about crime. He said that this silence was because this group was never impacted by things that broken education and criminal justice system. Abdullah found it interesting that these groups were now speaking out because crime was affecting them directly. Tommy?
Yep.
The man is on point. As a matter of fact, let me call David Abdullah. Let me call him. Hold on, eh?
Good idea.
Let me call David Abdul. Let me call David Abdul. David Abdul. David Abdul. Good. David Abdul. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. Oh, not that Abdullah. David Abdul. I called that man last time, boy. What happened? Where did I get a number from? No, I not a number, Tommy.
Yeah, boy, I'm looking for this article. I can't seem to.
That's brother Abdullah. That's not brother David Abdullah. That's a different person. Let me see if that in my contacts, man. There we go. Hold on.
Where is this article?
Trying something here, Tommy. Folks, bear with us. We're trying to get David up.
You should have called Ho Choi 10 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. But I'm trying to get David Abdullah. Let me try this. So, folks, we are calling the MSJ leader. Mr. David Abdullah, welcome, sir. You are live on WZYE 95.9 FM here in New Jersey, and we have a quick question for you.
That's kind of catching me by surprise. But all right, go ahead.
Well, we read your
Good
article
evening
that
to you.
we read your article that crime is a public policy, not a mental health issue. And we were just saying here that
Not a public health crisis.
right, it's not a public health crisis. Correct. It's a public. It's a
I tell you, it's a crisis. It's a crisis of public policy.
correct.
A failure of public policy over very many years in many different aspects of national policy, including the education system, the criminal justice system, and so on. And those things are not public health questions, they're related to other aspects of public policy. And, essentially, heads of government in their action plan identified the fact that it's not really, they didn't say that, but I mean, they identified the need for major education reform, they identified the need for major reform of the criminal justice system and so on, and other measures of crime fighting, dealing with guns and so on. That is in public health, public policy. Yeah.
So, Mr. Abdullah, why are successive governments or even the current government trying to make it out into be a public health issue? Why are they making it? Is that for political expediency?
Well, there's an argument that I'm just saying what they're saying, right? And you critique it afterwards. They're claiming that the prevalence of violence now manifests, of course, in the use of guns to kill people. But the prevalence of violence is like a pandemic, and therefore it needs to be treated in the same way or tackled in the same way that we tackled a pandemic like COVID in terms of analyzing and putting in strategies and having a whole of the country, whole of the government approach to dealing with the problem. So that is their argument, right? I don't, and it's not just this country, the government, but other governments apparently have had that view as well. And there's some people who have done, some social sciences have done research along those lines. But I don't think that is the issue. I think that shifts the focus away from the responsibility over years by successive governments in terms of the failure of national policy. For example, the failure to create good jobs for young people so that they would, those who have migrated wouldn't want to migrate, and good jobs for those who are here, who are unemployed and that kind of thing, and therefore feel a sense of hopelessness. So that is a public health issue, that's a public policy issue, So I disagree, that's why I made the statement that a crisis of public health is a public policy crisis.
So, Mr. Abdullah, we want to thank you for taking our call. Really appreciate your comment on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Abdullah, and we agree with you.
Thanks for calling and be safe. Take care.
All right, thank you. And Tommy, we wholeheartedly agree with him.
Yeah, we certainly do.
But Tommy, it's funny that people go just throw him to the side. Say, oh, what you commenting on? Yeah, no. He from the MSJ, But what the man says makes sense because what
And
I
yet,
just read to you, Tommy, what it is important to address crime from a comprehensive perspective, taking into account a large range of factors, including social, economic, and environmental factors. It includes mental health and other individual factors. So why are we just stressing on public health or mental health? Why are we just stressing on that? I mean, I don't know, Tom.
public health, we're making it a public health crisis. Crime.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
When he said it's a policy crisis.
Yes, it's a public policy crisis as opposed to a public health crisis. Ms. Coover, thank you very much. And Nadia, thank you very much. Yeah. So again, Tommy, we spinning top in mud again.
Oh yeah.
No,
I can't seem to pin down that article by Montano, but hopefully next time I'll.
Yeah. What's his name? Robin Montano?
Yeah. Where he says he proposes education as a solution.
Robin Montano. Education as a solution?
Yep.
Hold
He
on, Robin.
talks about the crime and then he proposed education as a solution.
On education as a solution. Robin Montano on education.
I thought Albert sent it to me, but I'm looking in Albert's WhatsApp and I'm unable to locate it. I guess I'm probably moving a little too fast.
Is it called Fixing the Education System?
By Robin Montano, it says?
Yeah, there's one by Robin Montano. Fixing the education system. Fixing our thinking and not twisting our problem. You know what? We go look for it next time. This is an old article. That's an old one. I don't know what is this one or date. But this is an old article. Fixing the education system. This since 2015.
This is a recent article. It came in yesterday.
Let me see if Albert sent it to me. Albert. So Tommy,
you want to call Mr. Charles?
Let me call him and see.
Yeah, well, let's find out what's the thinking of the TT. They're just gonna be only focused on THA or national politics, but Tobago only.
Yeah.
Mr. Charles, you are live on WZYE 95.9 FM. We have a quick question for you. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Mr. Charles, you are live on WZYE 95.9 FM here in New Jersey. We have a quick question for you. And here is the question. Now that we have the Tobago's People's Party, will they be able to run in a general election for the 2 seats in Tobago East and Tobago West?
Sometimes I try to avoid taking these kind of questions just off the hook like that. But since you asked me that, yes, why not?
Say that again?
Yeah. Yes, I said sometimes I avoid taking these kind of questions just like that,
No, I know. But we felt that, with your
But there's a reason that you asked me a specific question about if you have a new party, whether they can take part in the general election for the 2 seats in Tobago, yes.
Or they
The
can?
answer is yes.
Okay. All right. So folks, there we have the answer. Okay, Mr. Charles, thank you so very kindly. We appreciate it.
Yeah, what is the background to this?
Well, we see the new party, right? And there was a Tobago-centric party, and people were saying, why do they have Tobago in it? And it was not something to do with Trinidad and Tobago, right? And they were feeling like, it's kind of a separation between Trinidad and Tobago. I
You
mean,
see what
go ahead.
that's one of the reasons why sometimes when I talk on a program, I like to educate, but I can't do that now. That's your program, you call me. I always like to educate the population so that they can be empowered. There's a difference between, because there have been many Tobago party, that take part in Trinidad and Tobago elections. We are Trinidad and Tobago as a nation. And I'm saying Ethiopia was Tobago. They run the 2 seats in Tobago too. Bonella and what's his name? And Baker won those 2 seats during that time. We had it before where we only had one Tobago party, Nicholson and O'Geese and Nicholson and Robinson. And I mean, this is what I need to and Tobago. And even though a party is formed in Tobago, like the UNC doesn't have anything in Tobago, but they can also contest election in Tobago. It's Trinidad and Tobago for general election, right? And even though it's a Tobago party, the Tobago party can contest election in Trinidad and Tobago because we have 2 seats in Tobago and we need 2 representatives from Tobago to go to the parliament in order to deal with the Tobago issues. You get the message?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So that clears up.
Yeah, but you need to talk to me sometime subsequently about. We're not going to talk about that now. Subsequently about this Tobago thing, because I have been saying to you and everybody else before a long time that a Tobago-based party does not mean a Tobago-directed and controlled party. That's one of the misconceptions that we have,
Mr.
You
Charles.
can have a Tobago-based party, but it's not directed and controlled from Tobago, and that's Tobago problem. Just like this one here now is a Tobago-based, because it's based in Tobago, but it's not directed from Tobago and controlled by Tobago.
Mr. Charles, can you hear me?
We're going to spend some time on that. So that's one of the issues that we have.
So,
Wall Street.
Yeah, so
talk to me. You form a party in Tobago. What about the PDP? Ain't that Tobago based?
Yeah.
We were not directed and controlled from here.
Aslam, can you hear me?
This is the deception that we had. And as soon as they were finished, Duke went down in Trinidad, even before any little this little controversy between he and Valley. And he went down, started to set up in Trinidad because he wanted to contest the election in Trinidad. Because he was directed from Tobago at all. But we're going to spend some time on that, Chief, if you don't have the time.
Yeah, so Ochoy, one minute before you go. My co-host Tommy wanted to ask a question. Tommy, what is the question? I'll ask it to him. He may not hear you. Go ahead, Tommy.
What's she doing? She good?
Tommy, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Charles, thank you for taking our call.
Is she going back? And this Tommy the lady?
No, Tommy. Diana is the lady. Diana is not here with us tonight.
Diana. It's Tommy.
Yeah,
okay.
Tommy. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, Mr. Charles. Good night. Can you hear me?
Just go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Tell him that we are encouraged by Fali's leadership, and we were thinking that what he's doing in Tobago can inspire.
Something wrong with the microphone.
I will tell you what it is. Hold on.
What he's doing in Tobago can inspire.
Yeah, all right.
Trinidad, and as a result, we were thinking that instead of Tobago only, he should focus on a Trinbago approach, or call the party something to the effect Trinbago People's Party, because he's given power to the people, and the people of Trinidad need the power that he's giving.
So, Hochai, what Tommy question is that wouldn't it be a better idea if I'm paraphrasing now that the party be more a Trinbago party as opposed to be just a Tobago party, and we be given a sense of power to the people both in Trinidad and Tobago from Farley?
You see, let me backtrack and say something to you quickly. Most of our nations in the Caribbean, they are multi-island nations. You recognize that? Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada and Carriacou. We have to understand that, you know. You all need to since you all have a Caribbean background, find out precisely how those islands operate. You don't come from the larger island and send up candidate in my small island and see if you can win a seat, you know. But the national parliament that passed the national laws, they belong to both islands. You follow what I'm saying? Just like Trinidad and Tobago, we have two representatives in Trinidad, you know, Shamfa Kojo and Webster Roy. When you do that as a national party, you cannot go to the parliament and represent, though you are elected as the representative of the people, and represent the views of your constituency. It doesn't work so. Parliament doesn't work so. Parliament work with sides, government and opposition, or you can have independence inside of it. Once you belong to either the government or the opposition, you cannot get up in the house and speak on your own for your constituency. They have to allow you to speak. Shamfa can only talk about sports. And Webster can only talk about gender affairs, except they allowed her to speak on any other issues of Tobago. It happened to Udin Davis. You remember that? When she was in the parliament, her constituency was devastated in Tobago East in 2004, I think it was, with Hurricane Ivan or one of them. She went to the parliament, you know, as normal. That is the natural thing in any democracy all over the world. You will go to the parliament as the rep and say, I want to move a motion. I want to inform you of the devastation created in my constituency and to ask for all assistance possible. That's the natural, normal thing. She went down, you know. But remember, she was a minister at culture or something like that. But she belonged to the PNM at the time and was a minister. So the leader of government business have to tell the speaker, I have somebody to speak on my side. If he does not do that, she can't speak. So they told her, look here, we're not so sure all that you're going to say, you know. As a result, we can't allow you to speak. To this date, and it's your area, your daddy come from up there. To this date, no motion has ever been moved on the devastation of Delaford and Roxborough and them placed in Udine constituency to ask for help. That is why the people got no help. You know? You all don't understand how the parliament work. It doesn't work how you all imagine out there, you know, and think. That is why Jack Warner, you remember Jack Warner? Yeah. Jack Warner was UNC. When he got thrown out, remember, he had to leave the party because of Section 49, subsection 2E of the Constitution. Because if they fire you from the party while you're an MP, or you are expelled from the party, you are fired or you resign, your seat becomes vacant in the House of Representatives. As a result, Jack Warner's seat became vacant because he had to leave. He contested back that seat and won it as an independent. You remember, he's the only man that could have get up in parliament and talk on any subject matter because he does not come under the whip of the government nor of the opposition. You follow what I'm saying?
Correct.
That's how the parliament works. And that is why the question that Tommy raised, that it doesn't work how he thinks it, that is the way it would have been the good thing that he suggested there. But Tobago has to have 2 Tobago representatives sent down there by Tobago who can go in the parliament and represent Tobago. Roy can't talk for Tobago because she is a PNM MP, not a Tobago East, you know. And she become a minister of government, so she can only speak on a ministerial portfolio. Okay. You're now getting your eyes open on this thing that we call called parliamentary democracy. It's not democracy, it's a dictator. It's a dictatorship.
Okay.
I love you all your way.
So, Ochoy, listen, we thank you so much, man.
Talk to your partner, man.
We had to bring you
Very
in. We had to bring you so we could expatiate a little more. We just take a chance and call you, but we don't want to keep you too long. We appreciate the time you give us.
Yeah, well, since you call and I was just listening to the news and half past, I didn't want to miss it because there was a serious matter with the licensing people. Maybe you may have seen that. Would have come across the Tobago and did some work. And you see the spin they put on it this afternoon. The Minister of Works, as though it is because Fali's wife was involved in not having a thing. They made this thing as though it is that, and the question that they ask in TV6 is whether Fali should apologize to them. But I am going to deal with that matter. I hope I'm going to deal with that matter there properly tomorrow, because that has nothing to do with the issue. Martin George would have spoken about it on 98.1, and he knew nothing about Fali's wife. And he spoke at the Tobago, what they call it, business chamber, and talk about the kind of advantage that was taken of the Tobago people. And let me say this to you quickly, you alone quickly. Do you know that the licensing office, licensing in Tobago is under the THA? Do you know that all the staff in licensing is paid by the THA? You know this is an imposition from Trinidad? It's a fifth schedule item?
Wow.
That can't come out yet.
Wow.
So it means then that what could happen there, it means then that once that is allowed to happen, that licensing from Trinidad and Tobago could come into Tobago and do that. Any fifth schedule item, it means then they can set up an education division in Tobago and run it. In spite of the fifth schedule item, which is the assembly's one, they could set up a finance division, they could set up a social welfare. In fact, they set up one last week. I'm watching a trend where Minister Cox would have set up a social welfare board in Tobago.
To circumvent the THA.
It's a THA function. Yeah.
So they find a way to nullify the THA.
Precisely. And it happened with Penny, did the same thing with town country planning a couple of weeks ago, and Gonzalez did the same thing. So I recognize a trend, and Fali can't deal with it. So I called him. We should have meet this evening, but I had a sitting at the house for we to meet so that I would have to intervene to deal with it, to put a stop to it. You remember, Chief, that when the boy that girl Vernella was Minister of Tobago Development before Baker took over. You remember there was a controversy with regards to the hospital, and Vernella would have gone and said she's responsible for the hospital in Tobago. IU held a press conference to stop that. I said we don't pass laws in Tobago. Law is the tool for the implementation of government policy. So laws are only passed in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago for Trinidad and Tobago. I said, this law that is passed that gives Tobago House of Assembly responsibility for health in Tobago was passed in the Parliament. Could anybody tell me, that was the media conference, could anybody tell me what law authorizes the minister to be responsible for health? And I said, you all are lawbreakers. And I call upon the president of the country that he will break the neck of that, And it was PNM, It was PNM in Tobago. And it was the UNC was doing that to them. You know that break the neck of that?
Wow.
You can't be a lawmaker and a lawbreaker.
Wow.
So when I saw the spin that they put on this thing about Fali's wife, and Fali explained to them, my wife apartheid, he didn't even mention that, but they asked him, you didn't have a cousin or somebody that was involved. He said he didn't want to deal with that. And I asked him, how do you relate to and deal with Martin George? Martin George's chamber, he said almost the same thing that Fali said about what all you did to the Tobago drivers. I have seen that drivers came to me, they spoke to me, they said, Mr. Charles, you can't stop the licensing people from doing their job. But they said to me, a fellow came, one man get $8,000 in ticket. One man said that he had the number plate, the fender, what do you call it, the indicator. The indicator light should be amber, which is a yellow light. But the fellow headlamp, they change all of them to white, and that light, the indicator light on the fender would have been white. You know, they could have tell the fella, hey, that should really be amber. It working, you know. You know, it's $650 ticket they give him. It's an advantage. So I'm not talking about encouraging anybody to break the law. What Farley said was true, and what the chamber president says is true. He had nothing to do with Farley's wife. But that is how they put the spin, as though Farley must be upset because his wife was involved. That's completely rubbish. I have seen one of the fellows say he had his number plate. You know, you have two bulbs on one on the one side. So, but one bulb could show you the entire number plate. The light will come on and show you the full number plate. One of them was actually working when they said put it on. The other one was actually blinking. It was working, but it was blinking. Either he had some short. Do you know? They give him a ticket for it. I mean, it's one set of nonsense. Some people are pulled aside, they can't move. But I'm telling you, so what Farley said, and why they didn't take on what Martin George said in a media conference. Martin didn't have anybody, no wife and no cousin that was involved. You see the spin they put on that thing? It's wrong. And it's a fifth schedule item. It's a Tobago House of Assembly function. How come the Ministry of Works could have sent up people in Tobago to come to do a fifth schedule item? Nobody in Tobago, no. And treating people like that with disrespect. I don't mind people doing the legal work, you know. Come to Tobago, you have a conversation, say, Transport Commissioner, you can come. The licensing is available to you. You come and do your come and help them to do the work in Tobago and so on, because the Transport Commissioner put you in Tobago. Let the cooperation take place and so on, and carry out your work. Give the ticket if you have to give a ticket, do that after. But this one is advantage, you know. Let me tell you this before I go off. Do you know that you know we own a gas station in Plymouth?
Yeah.
The sales at the gas station cut by over 50% for the week. Everybody park up the vehicle and use public transport. After a couple of days, yeah. Children were on the road, maxi. They want people don't want to come out because they don't want to face this kind of trauma by the licensing people. So they park up the vehicle. All the maxis, a lot of maxis park up, you know. In the afternoon, 2 afternoons I see in town, people walking up on the highway to get transportation. Nobody buying fuel. It creates a problem, you know, with the whole economy at Tobago.
So, Charlie, there's people from Trinidad come to Tobago to give tickets.
Yes, the licensing office, and because it was said, I didn't hear them say it, but it was said by people that I know in the circus. Said the fellow, they say we come here to make about $1 million.
What?
And it's not strange. Yeah, and that's why they were boasting about how many tickets they issued.
That's wicked and evil, man.
You're now getting the message contrary to what you saw in the news. They're making this thing as though is the chief secretary, and because your wife gets involved and so on and so on. And if he will apologize to the licensing people for the way he said, but they're going to have something. Hello, they better plan, because Hochoy coming in the next few days in the public.
So
it's wrong.
So, Ocho, we want to thank you so much, man. You gave us some great information there. We had to have you on and we could talk some more. Thank you so much.
Yes, Ansel.
Tommy, we got a lot.
So now we get the picture why they did Tobago, because they intend to do the 2 seats and leverage.
Yeah. You see, we get a big picture now, Tommy. Tommy, that fella is a transformational leader. They have it. They understand. Them fellas going to run for them 2 seats.
Yeah, they don't care to do what Duke was doing, which is trying to expand the party in Trinidad and so on and so forth. They're just going to focus on Tobago.
It's surprising what we just learned there from which your Charles, you know, about you going up there, boy, to get people ticket to boy, that is wicked and evil, boy.
I saw that, and I saw the chief sec talk about it that he was very aggrieved by what was going on with licensing in Tobago.
But Tommy, I want to leave you by yourself. Is that okay?
Yes, I reckon you can leave me by myself.
All right. So what I'm going to do, folks, I like to say before I go, good night. But Tommy, I will come back. I'll go and do some little things with the family upstairs. You know,
Okay.
and so today is my birthday. I want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes. Let me just say,
I want you to play Happy Birthday by for yourself by
who's that?
Winston
Winston
Winston.
Devine. All right, let me play that. Let me play that before I go. Winston Devines. Winston.
I'm just gonna stand up for a quick moment.
Here we go. Hold on, let me play this. Okay, here we go. Hold on. So, folks, it's kind of funny. I'm playing a music to myself. Right? There we go. This is for myself. From myself to myself. For my happy birthday.
Your birthday is the day. Happy birthday, happy birthday. If you plan to celebrate, I say happy birthday, happy birthday. It's a good day for having a party. A good time to get next to your baby. Gather around all the friends who you value. Join with them in a toast as I wish you happy birthday. Happy birthday. May your chalice run it over. May you always have a dollar. May you live on for a million more. Just for you, I sing this song today. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Whether you are near or far away. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Even though time is making you older, experience is to make you much wiser. Let the past be your lesson and teacher, and look forward to seeing in the future. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. May prosperity be with you. May all of your dreamings come true. May you live to score a million more.
Yes, indeed. Again, happy birthday to you. Can you hear me?
Keep my mic there a little bit. That's all. Let me say a special thank you to all of you, Hailey, Rose, Rennie, Denise, everybody that wished me. Eugene, Julian, all the people that wish me happy, Rose Celestian, Denise G, Ulrich Murray, thank you for Nadia, Miss Kuva, Mean Jean, Julian Capiza, Trinidad Margot, Judy, yeah, Judy. Who else, boy? Nadia. I want to thank you guys. Rennie Mohammed, Daryl Supersad, yeah,
Rosa
Rajvi,
Latine, Haile Kuchla.
yeah. Thank you all for all the birthday wishes. So let me go on. Next birthday, come down to Trinidad, straight by my house. So Tommy, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna come back in another maybe 5 minutes before you close. I'll come back. All right. So I'll leave you. You in charge.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, well, we can talk about what's going on in Trinidad. We can talk about what we expect. We can talk about, well, I'm flying solo. I didn't really plan on flying solo, so I don't really have a flight plan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna engage you in the chat. So based on what Mr. Ochoa Charles had to say, what's some of your thoughts? What say ye? What say ye? Let me know. I can read something here. I should be able to find something here that I can read that we can talk about. Just bear with me. I want to refer to an article sent that was written by Steve Alvarez, a letter to the editor. Or is it the editor's letter? He may be the okay, in the chat I have Ulrich say Mr. Charles getting a rude awakening. I don't think it's a rude awakening, and I think he's teaching the new executive how to stand up to the bullying that may be coming out of Port of Spain. I'm going to read this letter to the editor, or should I say editor's letter. The discolored walls with vines, the broken windows and rusting machinery with chimney falling apart tell a story of a once busy sugar factory. The rusted tanks, discarded pipelines, and rusting machinery paint a sad picture of what was once a vibrant oil refinery. The looted buildings with broken conveyor belts now cover for gangs and guns once housed a citrus factory on the base of Laventille Hills. The unique feat of the engineering where pipe and valves thread through the northern range to refill the Hollis Reservoir during the dry seasons are now abandoned forever. Our fields that were once planted with sugar, cane, citrus, and peas, coconut, rice, cocoa, and coffee are now abandoned with grass and squatter communities. Our forests with their majestic trees are being cut daily and sold for lumber without control as the environment suffers. Our young people at the very early stages of their lives are subjected to music with lyrics that support violence, praise alcoholism and drugs, and consist of the most profane language. There are rich public officers who consider it the norm to seek financial inducements before doing their duty. Getting justice takes years. The law is disregarded, and squatting in full view of officials like that currently ongoing on the Lady Young Road goes unchecked. There are no attempts to regularize legal landowners as cases are extremely expensive and time-consuming. Police patrols in communities are rare, and residents are urged by authorities to form watch groups to defend themselves against a rise in home invasions. Simple things like registering births and deaths are time-consuming and burdensome. Fire stations are without critical firefighting equipment. Police and other vehicles are poorly maintained and simply discarded in open yards after a few years of use. No attempt is made to sell them or have them repaired until they have been left to rot for years. Our schools are becoming places for violent groups to roam, for children to be introduced to marijuana and for other illegal activities rather than a place for education and a disciplined approach to the trades and sports. Where are the next set of engineers, doctors, financial professionals, lawyers, and world-class sportsmen and women to come from? In what environment? When would there be order in the society where those employed to upkeep the law no longer take financial inducements to close their eyes to lawlessness? Fixing TNT is no one-man job. It requires every citizen, every community, every religious body, every social grouping to participate in the repair. That requires turning away from racial and sectarian voting patterns and electing the best people committed to the to the humongous task of rebuilding TT. It calls for us to renew our hope for a better country. We have the personnel, skills, equipment, and knowledge to fix our homeland. We need the political will. This is from Steve Alvarez via email. Now, the reason why I read that is because we have a yeoman's task at hand, and this was an article written by a young man who wanted to pose solution or at least highlight some of the ills and keep us aware of how we can approach resolution to some of these problems. Okay, so in the chat I have Heidi saying, he's talking about Mr. Charles. He said that is proven more and more. PNM willingly want Trinbagonians to suffer and have nothing because PNM put in burden on Tobago people. Ali says, Nadia is wishing Anselm a happy birthday. Thank you, Nadia. Anselm has taken a break. I'm sure he's listening at this time. And I want to say thanks on behalf of him. Rose says, hi, good night, Nadia. So what do you guys think about what I just read from Steve Alvarez? Chime in and let me know. You can't call me because I don't. Okay. So I have Mean Gene saying, telling me he's agreeing with me. He says, Tommy, you're right. Nadia says, hi, Rose. Good night, darling. Blessings. Heidi said, it's real sad, Tommy, that that ish hurts hearing. Boy. I don't know what are we to do. I don't know exactly what are we to do about this experiment that is failing miserably, and what alternatives we have. How many of you really think that Gary Griffith is a good alternative? Kenjan, good night, Kenjan. Everyone's blessing. Be safe and good night. Anselm, Diana, and Tommy, be safe and shalom. I'm not gonna stay on the show much longer because I really wasn't prepared to fly solo. But for the most part, you can start putting in your closing remarks whenever you're ready. The newspaper article is on point. That's what Mean Gene says. Heidi says, I don't think Gary Griffith is good for the PM. I want to agree with you too. I want to agree because I just think he's a good rabble rouser. Ulrich says Gary is not a good alternative, but a very bad one. So what about Philip Alexander? Is he a good alternative? Nadia says it's really sad. Yeah, she says it's sad outside. It is. But we have to make it. We, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, have to make a difference and send a message that we mean business. I mean, the two choices we have leaves a lot to be desired, but somehow we have to get them to either listen or we do something very drastic. And Nadia says, Kenjan, good night, blessings. Kenjan says, I don't trust politicians, ex-politicians too. They only care about politics and thieving out the treasury money. That is true too. That is true too. Like I said, the power is in our hands, the voters, the citizens, to make a difference. Rose says, Tommy, good night. You are slimming down rapidly and you are looking younger and more handsome now. May God bless you, Tommy. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. And God bless you too. You're very observant that I've slimmed down a bit. We need someone with a calm personality for PM, not Gary or Philip. That's what Mean Gene says. I agree with you, Mean Gene. I agree with you. We already have a, anyway. I'm not gonna comment on that. Philip Alexander, no, no, no. That's Nadia's post. She says Philip Alexander, no, no, no. Agree, Nadia. Ken John, good night, Nadia. Mongol, blessings, be safe. Rose says, thank you, Tommy. You're welcome, Rose. And thank you. Thank you for being part of this experience. Yeah. Well, Kenjan, Nadia said what you said is well said. Hailey says Philip Alexander is the best. Ain't no better. I want someone to tell me who is better than Philip Alexander. I'm not sure if you can be told if there's anyone to tell you that, but it's still wide open. Carice says good night, everyone. Good night, Carice. Kenjan says good night, Rose Celestine. Be safe. Shalom and blessings. Nadia Mongol says Gary Griffith. No, no, no. Carice says good night, Diana, and Slim and Tommy. Good night, Carice. Kenjan says good night, Carice. Be safe. Carice says happy birthday to Anslim. I'm sure he's listening. Carice is hailing you up, Kenjan. Let me look for something else here before we go. Everybody's quick to say not to Philip Alexander. So who should be the PM then? Rose is saying good night to you, Ken John. She says, love how you are. Love, how are you? She's asking. Ken John says, happy birthday, Anselm. Blessings. Be safe and shalom. I want to play this one here.
Short pants. I ain't hearing good kaiso, the kind they used to sing long ago. I ain't hearing great kaiso, the kind that's altered the status quo. Kaiso used to challenge, the lyrics made the leaders cringe. Kaiso fought the oppressor, Kaiso man tackled gunslingers. Now the Kaiso man getting soft. King Hamilton, he don't even perform. Tell me if I'm wrong. Kaiso man and jamming again in song. Can't shoot each other in mortal speed. I can't hear good Kaiso again. They kidnap the boss of a song. Can't shoot each other in mortal speed.
By the way, Anselm, Rose wants you to save the last dance for her. So I'm sure you're hearing that. Ken John said, I good, Rose. Celestine, hope all is well with you. Thanks for asking. Nadia is giving her good night Blessings. He says, blessed night, everyone. Stay safe. Same to you, Nadia. Do the same. Ursula Singh says, yes, Kenjan. She's wonderful. Back to short pants.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Tie so man and jam it again in song. Can't shoot each other in mortal speed. I can hear no tie so again. They kidnap the boss of a big food chain. I can hear no tie so. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tie so man and jam it again in song. Can't shoot each other in mortal speed. I can hear no tie so again. They kidnap the boss of a big food chain. I can hear no tie so again. 5 and 6-year-olds getting raped. Lawyers helping big crooks to escape. Long time, you would have jammed that in some. Ain't tie so man like that get your tongue. Live la bamba de daido. Le bamba do. The long-time Calypsonian did his duty for his nation. When he did a rendition, he could sway public opinion. I mean, he sang money is king. Poverty is a hellish thing. Kaiso man jammed the food price. He wasn't sure if Trinidad was.
Denise G, you're not sure if they're hearing me, but you're hearing me. Alrighty. I'm just skating through right now.
Nice. Nowadays, I'm getting a scare. Every Kaiso is hard in the air. You think that I'm rude, but he lost his testicular fortitude. Doctors in pain, I can't hear good Kaiso again. Babies dying, no one could explain. I can't hear good Kaiso again. The pharmacy is always empty. 2 and 3 years you wait for surgery. Big Kaiso man, what taking so long? It's either you're dead or can't get your tongue. Le bamba bado. Le bamba bado like it. In 86, I remember the Kaiso man gave the order. Put them out was the Kaiso. And the government changed their soul. 88 had a confront when he sang Common Entrance. His 89 composition examine the state of the nation. Today, Ota Hetty could go. I am sure I go here, Kaiso. I hope you understand, like something gone wrong with the Kaiso man. Farmers in pain whenever it rains. I can't hear the Kaiso again. The high price of food make housewives complain. I can't hear the Kaiso again. Inflation reached to double digit, but every bank making huge profit. Long time you would have sing how that wrong, but not today. I can't get your tongue. Short pants, cat.
Yes, indeed. That was short pants. Cat got your tongue. Basically, what he's saying is that Calypsonians are afraid to speak up. Why? And we see that those who dare to speak up are left out of the mix. This is what we saw for the last carnival that went by. So that's why Cat got their tongue. Let me see. Denise is saying, based on what he explained earlier, it appears that the bone dies. Let me see, what's that? That the bane dies, not natter. Oh, okay. Rose says the borough events are ongoing in Point Fortin at present, so we will have 2 full weeks of activities. So it's time for Point Fortin Borough Day festivities. That's what you're basically saying now. All right. Someone was asking me about that last week. I couldn't answer as to when it was going to be happening. So you're saying that it's ongoing now. Does that mean that Borough Day, this is the build up for the Borough Day? When is the actual Borough Day? You can tell us, Rose, if you know. There's 2 weeks. So if it's starting this weekend, so next 2 weekends is Borough Day then. Because today's what? Today's Thursday. So next weekends is gonna be Borough Day. I know Anselm is listening and he's enjoying his birthday, and we really appreciate him having a happy birthday. Come on in the chat. Let's hear what you think about the calypso I just played. That cat got the Calypsonians down. Because we know by calypsos our stories were told. We know the Calypsonian is the conscience of the politician, or at least the conscience of the people, or the voice of the people, and he deals on the conscience of the politician. What is really going on lately? Late tonight, Albert, welcome, Albert. Late tonight, I just came back home from the hospital and had an urgent matter. Spent 4 p.m. to 9:15 tonight. Well, Albert, I hope that you got the care you needed. You in Canada, obviously, you would have gotten good care. I hope all is well, and pray that if it's you or your family, whoever it is, that they will recover speedily from whatever situation that they had presented to them. But you didn't miss much. We talked to Hochai Charles tonight. We talked about Tobago House of Assembly. We were focusing on whether or not. What did you say? Oh, he said good night, Alana. No, he said a late good night to all. Okay. Ali says, will the government starve? He meant starve. The government starve the people, so artists have to play ball to get their pocket change to survive. So if that means keeping quiet, that's what they have to do. We saw what happened with Lady Gypsy this carnival. They kept her out of the loop because of what she sang. And we saw what they did to Chalk Dust. Because he said they're cussing the PNM. They teach them a lesson. He should say nothing. Even if they're cussing the PNM day in and day out, he should say nothing. Tommy, it is my big sister. Very sick, maybe. Well, I wish her a speedy recovery. Our prayers are with her. I hope for the best for her. Nadia says, Albert, good night. Blessings. Yeah, Albert, I know you're wondering why I'm by myself. It looks like I was abandoned. Not really. Today is Anslim's birthday, so he had to leave early. Also, Diana took a break today. She has to get her devices sorted out. So she has taken a break today. So I'm here by myself. I'll be here for a little bit, but we're winding down because there isn't much more for me to talk about right now. I really wasn't prepared for a solo flight, but there's always so much that we can talk about when it comes to Trinidad. I know the weather up in North America has gotten cold again, even though we were expecting it to be warm. But I hope by this weekend it should warm up some. There are issues afoot in North America that regards as it regards to gun violence. Gun violence is a problem all over the world. However, in our little Twin Island Republic, we are concerned. We are very concerned that it's too much for a little place. Well, we had the symposium, CARICOM symposium on crime, and the focus was on guns on America, especially and South America, helping to stem the flow of guns into the Caribbean. I know there's talk about taking legal action against the gun manufacturers, which is a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. And that is just a waste of resources. What we have to do, and everybody knows that, is make sure that we tighten up our import borders to detect when these guns are being imported, because none of them are being manufactured here. Denise G says we need a TT Parliament 101 session. Yeah, we would have to get Hocha Charles to edify us on that, because he seems to have that in the back of his head, like if he designed everything, because he remembers well, he has a good brain. Rose says some are already took the copy of my Borough program. Someone already took a copy of my Borough program, but I think it is the first Saturday in May. All right, that should be fun. First Saturday in May is Borough Day. Yeah, but yeah, Denise, I hear you with that 101 session for TT Parliament, which I Charles would be great to edify us on that. Ken Jan says, yes, correct, too much. Yes, correct, too much cocaine and guns in this little Twin Island. This is too much. No time to stop the killings and murders, etc. Yep. But the corruption is a big thing that has to be addressed, because we have everything in place to make these things stop, except to quell the corruption. We have to see what happens with our new commissioner of police. She says by June things are gonna get better. June is just like 2 months away, or a month and a week or so, or a month and a couple of weeks away. Albert says, Tommy, last week on a program I saw, the CBP, Canadian Border Police, intercept AR-15 and 3 Glock handguns being shipped to Trinidad on air freight. That's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. Obviously, whoever shipped it had someone set declared for him, because they're not gonna ship it if they don't think that it's gonna get in. Obviously, they keep shipping them and they keep getting in. Obviously, but Canadian Border Patrol, hey, they're working. That's what we need from the U.S. We need them to work. But for every shipment that they catch, how many shipments get away or slip through? That's the other thing. So it's what? 1 in 10, you think? Because the smugglers always come up with new ways of camouflaging their goods. Their contraband. Abba says on the program, the CBP said they know that Trinidad is noted for a high murder rate and drugs. Well, Trinidad has gotten a bad reputation out there in the world when it comes to errant behavior and criminal activity. That's why we are on some travel advisory lists. The top people in customs. This is Ken John. They're bribing, he meant bribing them with big monies to come into Trinidad and Tobago. That's the thing. We all know that corruption is the problem. CBP is the U.S. Customs Border Patrol, Border Protection. Oh, you're talking about the U.S.? I thought you were talking about Canadian. I know I said Canadian, Albert, because I know you in Canada. Didn't know you realize I didn't realize it was Customs Border Protection from the U.S. U.S. Customs. You know, there was a time I remember in the U.S. when most of the guns were being shipped to the Caribbean, were being shipped to Jamaica. Now Trinidad has become a focal point, which is sad. And it's only a matter of time before many of the other islands wind up in the same predicament, because it spreads like wildfire. There has to be a regional approach to resolving this issue. Ken John says Trinidad too. Yeah, there has to be a regional approach. That's why I welcome the CARICOM Symposium on Crime, and yeah, that's why I welcome it. And I know the talking heads are rubbishing it, but I disagree with rubbishing it, because any discussion at all is better than saying and doing nothing. It has to start somewhere. It has to start with a plan. And once there's a plan, and you plan your work, and you work the plan, then you can resolve the issue. But to say nothing and do nothing is not an option. All right, we approaching the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to shut down at 10 o'clock. And Sam is going to be back in at 10 so we can shut down. Albert Montano says, they said that they only intercept 1 in 10 because these people are not letting up. Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. For every one that they intercept, 9 has slipped through. That's what these traffickers, they make it their business to figure out how to get through. And like I said, they have people that are working with them on the other side. Yes. So what else is new? Yeah, but sorry that you had your challenges, but I hope all turns out to be well with your sister. But as it is, once we live long enough, we need maintenance. Nadia says, Albert, so true. Because the school I work in Form 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is taking drugs, smoking weed. A lot of them always have police in the school. Albert says the CBP also said this is done by an organized group. Of course. And like I said, they have people on the receiving end working with them. So, hey, it is what it is. But it has to be addressed. I see Anselm is back. Mr. Birthday Man is back.
You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in New Jersey for talk, news, sports, and information. The Caribbean.
Hey, yeah, Tommy, man. Thanks for holding on before day, man.
Yes. So again, anybody in the chat, any and everybody in the chat who wants to post closing comments, do it right away because we're going to be shutting down in a short.
Yeah, Denise. Thank you. Happy birthday, Slim. Yeah. Save some cake. Denise, I know about that, nah? Because I go gain a few punks tonight.
Rose asked you to save the last dance for her. You heard that?
Yeah. Rose full 100. Yeah, they talking about CBP, right?
Yeah, Customs and Border Patrol protection.
Yeah, that in Trinidad?
No, in the U.S. They
US?
intercepted a shipment with some guns en route to Trinidad. That's what Albert came late because his sister was sick and he had to go to the hospital.
Okay.
And that's what he was informing us, that he was aware of some information.
So, Tommy, how dealing with the gun manufacturers would affect that?
Exactly. Exactly.
How going after the gun manufacturers go accept so that the gun manufacturers put a shipment on that boat or the ship, wherever it is? Look. Yeah. So folks, put closing comments in the chat. Ken, John, Denise, Albert, Nadia, Rose, Carice, Mean Jean, Ulrich. I see Ulrich have a comment there, but you Ulrich say? Gary's not a god. Gary don't like I mean Ulrich don't like Gary at all, but
Yeah, I was asking if Gigi or if Mr. Pep are good alternatives and
as
some of them
political parties.
as alternative PMs,
Mm.
and it didn't augur too well with most of the
Yeah. I don't know I don't know either, Tommy. We need a reintroduction of laws in the parliament. I don't know yet, Tommy. I don't know if them fellas and them is good examples, based on their past. You know, but
Denise was also saying that we need Parliament 101 session, so we get to know some of the parliamentary laws. I imagine. But Ken, you made a good point there too. A lot of big businesses are involved in the gun business, in gun and drug business in Trinidad and Tobago.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just interesting.
Highly post some closing comments. They say hope is alive, but when it comes to Trinidad, it's hard to believe in hope. Good night, village. Good night,
Nah,
Heidi.
highly, man. You gotta hope, man.
Good night, Heidi.
You must have hope.
When you stop living, you stop hoping.
Correct is right. You must have hope, man. You have to have faith and hope. You know? You gotta be a possibilitarian. You know? Dealing possibilities. Yeah, it's possibilities. You know? So Tommy, I'm gonna give you my closing comment.
Go ahead.
My closing comment is simple today. I said on a radio station today, and if you think education is expensive, try ignorance.
Try ignorance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
From where I said this is it, the clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Ken John says, SM Jalil, the cocaine was found in the UK a while ago from Trinidad, the liquid orange can juice. Yeah.
That orange juice was in Virginia in the port.
Yeah.
I think so. UK they found it in the Apple J, where one worker actually died.
Anybody ever went to jail for that?
I don't think. I didn't hear
Nobody went to jail for that.
Yeah, but
nobody went to jail for that.
Anyway, my closing comments is: love is still the key for living and for life. And never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand to pick them up. Never ever look down on them unless you're giving them that hand, you're extending a hand to pick them up. Again, it's been a pleasure being here in the village. Looking forward to our next session. Till then, love you all.
Yeah, and Tommy, thanks a lot for holding on the 4 day for me. I'm going back and eat some cake.
Yeah, I got blindsided because I would have prepared more adequately.
Yeah. Sorry about that because at the last minute, that was our last minute thing, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna need some cake, and by the time tomorrow I might have to run. Yeah, I might have to run a few extra miles. That home invasion issue is a major issue. Is a major issue in TNT. Yeah, we go deal with that. We was dealing with that too,
Yeah.
But we could deal with that even more next week. Next Saturday. Saturday is a holiday in Trinidad.
Yes, it is. It's Eid.
Yeah. So let me see if there's any more closing comments there. All right. So we're gonna go to the preacher tonight. Folks, good night. There we go.
Good night, and then
Trinidad. I pledge, now that she needs me, I will work hard. You abuse her when things was nice. Now you're crying blood. Things hard in Trinidad. Now you have to sacrifice.